Hey guys, it's Bebx here with another video. Today's video is controlling recoil in Siege. Now it's pretty simple. If you've ever played CSGO, you're going to find it pretty familiar. Essentially every gun has a pattern that will get applied every time you go and do a spray. And all you have to do is counter it. So yeah, look, I mean I guess it's easiest if I just show you what it looks like. So with Thermite's gun, it looks a bit like this. It's like... Now that may seem a bit uncontrollable at first, but this is a consistent pattern. If I shoot the gun again, you'll see it does the exact same thing. Yeah, there's a bit of difference in the eye timing at points sometimes, but that's something you can learn to account for and control, and it'll always end up following the same path. So to control this, all you need to do is, well, yeah, it's pretty simple. You just find this pattern and do the opposite down here. That sort of thing with your mouse. And what you can get is you can get this sort of spray pattern like this. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to get this tight of a grouping, you know, the first time you try, but you know it takes time. So go into these custom games, practice against the wall, and eventually you'll get to this step. Really, it is. It may seem very complex and daunting at first, but in time you will come to understand it and be able to win your gunfights in Siege. So good luck. So I've actually got some examples of how recoil control really can become second nature in Siege. As we can see here, we have this really smooth recoil coming in from one of my friends, RustBucket109. It really does become second nature after a while, and you can control your recoil even in these really chaotic gunfights. Another example, you can see the same really does still apply, even for these tiny headshot angles that may seem impossible to hit the opponent's head through. It's, you know, you memorize the pattern of the gun's recoil and you just naturally learn to account for it. Now, this may be a bit tricky for some, no matter how hard you practice it. This is actually a really skillful demonstration of recoil control in Rainbow Six Siege. You can see, you know, they line the enemies up and fire away, and recoil doesn't seem to be an issue at all. So, you know, if you practice, you could one day get that good. Now, one thing to keep in mind with recoil in Rainbow Six Siege is sometimes it does have the possibility to inflict damage on yourself when successfully using certain risky moves. So, to be aware of it. For instance, here, look, we can see this instance of, you know, recoil really ending a bit badly for the person trying to control it. So, you know, it really isn't an issue if you control it well. Yeah, here we go. Here's an artist rendition of, you know, the user being damaged by recoil. So, yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't happen often, but in some instances, some moves you use will inflict recoil damage upon yourself, and you just really do need to be aware of that being a possibility. Alright, I have just one more example for controlling recoil in Rainbow Six Siege. Here we can see, yeah, recoil really can be very tricky sometimes. It can, yeah, this is an example of how recoil really can almost get you killed, but you know, controlling it when a recoil is this strong can really net you some, you know, some situations where it will ensure more powerful attacks than, you know, you could otherwise ever imagine like creating, that you can use against your opponents to, yeah, to really result in some ultra powerful attacks that you really can't get without the help of your recoil to help you. So yeah, but that basically wraps up the recoil guide. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it useful. I would have hoped to have someone share all this with me when I first started Siege, because it really is a complex game. So yeah, hopefully you found it as useful as I would have found this if I was starting out as well. I think he's asleep. Wake up. Oh. So yeah. Bye. See a burger and be like, damn!